Being able to attract a quality man is only the beginning. If, like most women, your goal is to be happily married to a man who loves and cherishes you forever, you now need to learn how to keep a man. To discover the missing pieces of the parcel that will help you capture your man's heart forever, keep reading this article. To put it as simply as possible, the key to keeping a man's heart is to become so precious to him that he cannot imagine living a life without you in it. This means that your man perceives you to be someone who has the unique ability of connecting emotionally with him, loves him for who he really is, and not just for the personality that he projects into the world, is trustworthy enough to keep his secrets for him. The key word to notice here is perceive. Because unfortunately, many women, single or in a relationship, remain clueless about how to be perceived as such a woman. You can be the most loving, trustworthy, kind-hearted, open-hearted woman in the world, but a man won't think so if you can't or don't communicate with him in a way that he understands. That is why, despite your best efforts to ask a man what he needs, so you can change for him, things can just seem to spiral downwards and get worse. The reason I say this is because I used to be in the same painful and confusing predicament too. Until I acknowledged how vastly differently men and women view the world, I used to believe that equality of the sexes meant men and women are all human beings who think the same. As a result, I used to treat my boyfriends the same way as I treated my best friends and family. I had no idea how badly my good intentions were hurting my boyfriend. In fact, it took me 7 painful breakups to finally admit I was completely clueless about men, despite all the courses and books I had read about relationships. Finally, I discovered by accident what exactly it means when someone says men and women interpret the same actions very differently. But it still took me time to practice what I learned. Now, I am glad to say that my boyfriend continues to be happy in our relationship and is eagerly taking the lead in discussing and making plans for our future together. So while I wish I could give you a quick summary of how to keep a man, I need to emphasize how important it is to keep learning, keep reading, keep asking and doing your best to understand men better. Men are truly clueless about relationships and will do all sorts of things that drive the average woman crazy. But this only happens when you don't know how to interpret men's actions and words accurately. When you finally discover and accept the real truth about men, I guarantee your man will find you irresistible. Because you understand and appreciate him like no other woman ever has or can. Find out the one thing he obsesses over more than sex, link in description.